Let us put ourselves in the holy presence of the Lord as we all say, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. The Louisian Prayer.
Good day, Louisian Gems! Welcome back to our 6th week of video lecturing. Last week, we have discussed about two literary masterpieces of 21st century. We have Eternal Light by Dr. Rizal, and of course, Borderless World by Patricia Evangelista. But for this week, we are going to talk about another story of 21st century that will surely make you into tears. So for this week's discussion, we are going to talk about one of the masterpieces of Darvin. But do you know who is Darvin? Do you know the literary piece that we're going to discuss this week? Do you know the main point of the story? Those are just some of the questions that we're going to discuss for this week. But before anything else, kindly support us by simply liking our official Facebook page, The Languages Academy, and of course our YouTube channel, The Languages Academy, by simply subscribing and hitting the notification bell for you to be updated in our video lectures. Let's now start our discussion in 21st century from the Philippines and the world. As we go further to the story, kindly reflect to our essential question.
At this point, we're going to discuss the author's background. Ron Darvin. Ron Darvin is an assistant professor of applied linguistics at the English department of the Chinese University of Hong Kong. His current research examines how learners of an equal material, cultural, social, and linguistic resources to develop diverse digital practices and how socio-technical structures and algorithmic processes of various technologies shape online language practices. He is an instructor and researcher at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver, Canada, whose research focuses on the literacies and educational performance of recently migrated Filipino students. Before moving to Canada, he was a teacher of literature, cultural studies, and academic writing at the Ateneo de Manila University here in the Philippines. For you to better understand the story, let's unlock words embedded in the play. Canucks, a person born, raised, or living in Canada. Vancouver, a bustling West Coast seaport in British Columbia. Shaughnessy is an almost entirely residential neighborhood in Vancouver, British Columbia, and Canada, spanning about 447 hectares in a relatively central locale. Poutine is a dish that includes French fries and cheese curds topped with a brown gravy. Japadog is a small chain of street food stands and restaurants located in Vancouver, British Columbia, and Canada. IHOP or IHOP is an American multinational pancake house restaurant chain that specializes in breakfast foods. For the last one, we have inception, the time at which something begins. Those are just some of the words that you need to remember for you to understand the story of Ron Darvin. For better understanding, sit back and relax as you watch a short story created by Grade 11 ABM and uploaded by Julian James.
Kailangan ko na siguro makipagsapalaran sa ibang bansa. Hindi na sapat yung kinikita ko bilang isang guro. Mahirap man mawalay sa kanila, kakayanin ko. Para naman ito sa pamilya ko. Pwede ba tayo mag-isa? Narinig ko kasi kay Basing na yung pinsan niya ay nasa Canada na at napetisyon na niya yung buong pamilya na doon. At balita ko, kaya siya nakapunta doon dahil sa live-in caregiver program.
So, ano gusto mo talagang sa
Naisip ko lang naman, bakit hindi ko subukan? Lumalaki na din si Miguel. Kailangan na din natin makapag-ipon. Saka sa tingin ko, hindi na sapat yung kinikita natin dalawa. Kailangan na din natin magkabahay. Ng taon na din tayo nakikitira kay Inay.
Ano ka ba naman, Isabel? Di pa ba sapat sa'yo na nakakain tayo ng 3 beses sa isang araw? Kaya naman natin eh. Mahirap, pero kaya. Mas pipili mo bang mag-alaga ng ibang bata kaysa kay Miguel? Sarili mong anak. Di ba ang gusto mo? Malayo ka sa pamilya mo?
Pero Roberto, sa tingin mo ba madali para sa akin to? Hindi din madali para sa akin ang gawin to. Ang mawali sa inyo o kay Miguel. Pero para sa pamilya natin, gagawin ko. Kahit ano, kahit mahirap, mabigyan ko lang kayo ng magandang buhay. Gagawin ko. Miss ko na sila. Miss ko na ang Pilipinas. Miss ko na ang asawa at anak ko. Nakakamiss rin palang mag-iisang guro.
Lola, makakasama daw namin si Mama.
Masaya ako para sa iyo. Makakasama mo na rin nanay mo.
Lola, huwag kang magpapakapagod ha. Mga gamot mo, huwag mong kakalimutan. Mamimiss ko yung mga luto mo, Lola. Masaya ko.
Ano? Nakakita ka na ba ng trabaho?
Ano pa nga eh. Hirap pa naman ang trabaho dito. Kahit graduate ka with degree, mababa pa rin yung binibigay sa'yo. Hello, business model ako dito sa Pilipinas. Tapos bibigay lang sa akin trabaho, tagamap ng banyo. Nakakahiya.
Ganun talaga dito. Hindi porket degree holder ka sa Pilipinas eh. Sa opisina ka na agad. Lahat dito dumadaan sa butas ng karayom. Lahat ng Pilipino dito, lunok dignidad.
Anong pinagmamalaki mo? Na ikaw ang bumubuhay sa pamilyang to? Na ikaw ang kumikita sa ating dalawa? Na palalamunin mo lang ako? Ano, Isabel? Na wala akong kwenta? Na ako itong lalaki, pero ako itong walang trabaho dito?
Wala naman akong sinasabing ganun, Roberto. Ang sa akin lang,
Alis na nga lang. Minsan na lang magtagpo ang oras na isa.
saan ka galing? Lasing ka na naman.
Pwede ba, Isabel, hindi ka muna. Kaya na naman eh. Sisimula ka na naman.
Kapatid mo nga ako, Roberto. May babae ka ba? Sagutin mo ako. May babae ka ba? Eto, ha? Ano to? Nakita ko to sa pantulog mo nung huli ka rin umuwing lasing. Tapatin mo ako. Iloloko mo ba ako?
I'm sorry, Isabel.
Sorry for what? Tell me.
I have an affair with Kiko's sister-in-law, okay?
What? Kailan pa, Roberto?
3 buwan na. Anong magagawa ko? Lalaki lang ako. May pangangailangan din ako, Isabel. Nung muli ako sa asawa. Kung magpag-asawa tayo, magkasama nga tayo sa bahay na to. Pero di mo kami binibigyan ng oras ni Miguel. Uuwi ka, tulog na kami. Aalis ka, tulog pa rin kami. Hindi mo ako masisisi, Isabel. Hindi lang ako may pagkukulang dito. Ikaw rin.
After all these years, ginawa ko naman lahat ah. Kahit maghirap magtrabaho sa ibang bansa, ginawa ko lahat, mabigyan lang kayo ng magandang buhay. Tapos ito ang isusukli mo sa akin, Roberto. Umalis ka! Leave us! Huwag ka nang babalik! Hay nako, ito talagang batang to. Sabi ko gumawa ng assignment niya eh. Nanood lang yata ng mga movies. Ay, mga kabataan nga naman ngayon.
Tell me, Is being stupid a profession, or are you just gifted? If I say something that offends you, let me know so I can do it again later. So do your work properly.
Miguel, anak, tama naman ang desisyon ko, di ba? Para naman sa'yo ito. Kapag-aral ka, magkaroon ka ng magandang buhay, para di nila tayo malaitin.
Buti pa sa Pilipinas, may lola na asikaso sa akin sa almusal hanggang sa pagpasok sa school. At bago matulog, may magtuturo sa akin sa mga homework ko. Kasama ko nga si mama, pero wala rin siya. Namimiss ko na yung dati, yung kasama ko si papa, at may oras pa rin sa akin si mama. Ano nga ba ang halaga ng pera kung hindi ka naman masaya? Kung kulang ka naman sa atensyon ng sarili mong mga magulang, alam ko naman na para sa akin itong ginagawa nila. Pero bakit ganon? Parang kulang pa rin.
Pwede na naman. Yun lang din naman eh.
Oh, gising ka na pala. Ayun na yung breakfast mo kumain ka na.
Ma, pwede ko bang attend ng meeting sa school?
I can't, Miguel. Noon naman na may trabaho ako.
But why, ma?
Miguel, how can I sacrifice a whole shift just to be able to attend the meeting?
Ma, yun na nga eh. Hindi ko maintindihan kung bakit hindi ka maka-attend sa meeting sa school. Pagtulog ko, wala ka. Pagising ko, wala ka pa rin. Nasa isang bahay lang tayo pero hindi tayo nagkakatagpo. Pakiramdam ko wala akong ina.
Miguel, di mo ba naiintindihan na ginagawa ko lang to para sa'yo? Para sa future mo?
Ma, yun na nga eh. Hindi ko maintindihan. Hindi ko alam kung ano yung dapat kong maramdaman pag nakikita kitang nag-aalaga ng ibang bata, na ibang tao, na ako, sarili mong anak, hindi mo kayang bigyan ng oras.
Wala kang karapatang pagsalita na ng ganyan, Miguel. Hindi mo alam kung gano'ng kalaki ang sinakripisyo ko mabigyan ka ng magandang buhay at makapag-aral ka sa magandang universidad.
Ma, hindi ko hiling ang kahit anong material na bagay. Hindi ko rin hiling ang pagpapag-aral mo ako sa magandang universidad dito. Ma, oras mo lang. Oras mo lang sa 7 taon na nagtatrabaho ka dito sa ibang bansa. 7 taon mo din akong iniwan.
I'm sorry, anak. Ginagawa ko naman to para sa'yo eh. In the end, everything will be alright.
Ma, after all these years I've been waiting, please tell me, when does it begin?
Alright, so how was it? Did you get the main point of the story? Did you get what the author is trying to convey? I hope you acquired something from the film. Okay, so for better understanding, we have in here some lines taken from the selection, and let's try to analyze the following. Basta next year, I'm turning 16 and I can't wait to get a job. I'm gonna get one of Timmy's, earn a shitload of money and get out of this dump. So what does this line mean? Isn't it here in the Philippines, when you are 16, you're still in the process of enjoying life? It is because your age is still
on teenager stage. But when you are in Canada, if you're already 16, you must already thinking for your future on how are you going to earn now a shitload of money. Alright? So in this line, it means that when you are a citizen in Canada and you already reached the age of 16, you are obliged to work. That is why you have to study hard, my love, because otherwise you will end up just like her. So what does this line mean? It means that isn't it here in the Philippines, we tend to compare persons or people depending now to their achievements in life. That when you graduate on time, you'll get a better life. And if you don't, you'll be facing difficulties in life. So this line reminds us that even if the Filipinos are doing their best in their respective jobs, still some foreigners do not admire them. I miss my family, gossiping with my friends, and I miss being a teacher. With all the adjectives embedded in this line, it will automatically lead you to homesickness. And homesickness is a natural feeling of a person, most especially when you are far from them. Missing someone cannot, or it doesn't necessarily mean that you can only miss the person. Sometimes you can also miss things, places, or even memories. Next line. Why did Roberto manage to have an affair with the sister-in-law of Kiko, his fellow Filipino? The reason why Roberto managed to have an affair with the sister-in-law of Kiko it is because Isabel, his wife, wasn't able to spend time with her husband. But do you think Roberto indeed or really understand the situation of his wife? We all know that when we say OFW, they are actually sacrificing their life just only to suffice their family's needs. Now, if you are in the situation of Kiko, do you think you're going to do also the same thing? If you know the sacrifices of your wife or as an OFW, you know how to spend time with your husband. But for me, at the end of the day, the most important or interesting part is when Nenita still loves her husband, even though his husband fell out of love and he cheated. Actually, Nenita didn't mind at all because she loves him so much even if it hurts. Next line, Roberto, there's no space for here. If you want to build this family, we'll have to let go of shame. We just need to do what must be done. So in this line, it seems like Roberto is shy with all the things that he's doing. And this line simply means that Isabel sacrificed the degree or profession she finished just for the sake of her family. It is actually true that here in the Philippines, there are millions of graduates every year. And we know the fact that the Philippines cannot absorb them all. So what we're going to do? Of course, practicality would say that even if our work abroad isn't connected or related to the degree or profession that we finish here in the Philippines, as long as we are helping our family, as long as we are actually building life to our family, we don't see any problem with that. It is because we are more, or we Filipinos are family oriented. Tandaan mo anak, school is important, but she never helps me in my homework. She doesn't even find time to attend the parent-teacher meetings, and I'm the only child in school whose parents never show up. So in this line, it seems like Miguel, who is the son of Isabel, is complaining because maybe he cannot feel the care or presence of his parents. That even parent-teacher meetings, it seems like he's the only child in school whose parents never show up. But of course, we cannot just judge Miguel for that because every child needs support coming from their parents. But always remember that parents are doing their best to suffice all the needs of their family. And of course, I know for sure that parents also want to attend meetings because of course they want also to express their feelings that they still care to their sons and daughters. As a son or daughters, of course, we need also to consider the situation of our parents that they are doing their best, they are sacrificing their time just only to suffice our needs.
She wants me to study college after, but what use is college anyway? She graduated from a university in Manila. She was a teacher. Now she makes sandwiches and works at a grocery. What's a degree for? School is such a waste of time. Alright, so in this line, it seems like Miguel is still thinking if he will still pursue studying. It is because for him, what is the use of degree or what is the use of school if you're just working things that aren't inclined to the course or program that you are taking. We all know the fact that not because you graduated on time, alright, you will be facing a better life in the future. There are also people who didn't graduate on time but successful today. It is because sometimes we only need to be strategic in life for us to become successful. Of course, the diploma that you are holding isn't enough for you to be successful. Sometimes you need also to be strategic on how are you going to achieve your success. Sure, she went or sent home money, sent me toys and chocolates. Sure, there were phone calls and pictures, but you can't hug a phone call, can you? And a picture can tell you that everything will be alright. So in this line, it seems like Miguel is indeed longing for his family's attention or care. In this line, we can say that money is not everything. It may only give you temporary happiness. What a child needs is the guidance, touch, and protection of a parent. Always remember that money is temporary, but the happiness or care that the parents are giving are eternal. Have you ever wondered why was the story entitled Waiting? This is the reason behind. Though Miguel and Isabel were together, Miguel is still waiting for the time that his mother can give him the affection that he is looking for. Meaning that Miguel still have the determination and courage to wait for the affection that his parents will be giving. So he's still waiting for the affection, for the love that he is longing for. So what would be the thought for reflection of Waiting by Darvin? The pain of being away from your loved ones and doing a job that may be beyond your comfort zone is a sacrifice. Don't feel bad, for this is a way to prepare yourself in the future. Always remember that our parents abroad are doing their best for them to give us a better life in our future. What we're going to do is to support and at least give our love and care for them also to be motivated in the things that they are doing. And that's actually the main point of the story of Darvin. How about you? Would you mind to give us your thought for reflection? That's good. Alright, so for questions or clarifications, you may contact any of the following through our Facebook page, USLSHS Language Academy, through our Gmail account, languagesacademy2020@gmail.com, to our Neo LMS account, you can just check your teacher's profile, and of course, kindly support us by liking and subscribing our YouTube channel, Languages Academy.